All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here. I am on time. It is time to start Sakamoto Days. There is no One Piece chapter because One Piece is on break. But we got a Sakamoto Days chapter, so let's go ahead and continue where we left off, shall we? Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here. Welcome back to yet another live reading of Sakamoto Days. In the last chapter, we had Sakamoto going up against Ikari, the bodyguard of Ando, and she apparently at first had Sakamoto pretty much bound up underwater, where he really in the deep end of a pool, where he really couldn't do anything. But despite everything she tried to do against him, Sakamoto endured it. And not only that, but used a string of air bubbles as a way for him to shoot underwater with no resistance, and wound up hitting her directly in the shoulder, where she was promptly bodied by Sakamoto shortly after. And in doing so, Sakamoto winds up basically drop kicking her straight through the floor, right on top of Ando, who was just about to shoot Shin. So now we have Sakamoto and Shin face to face with each other. And Shin also exposed that he knows where Ando's bomb is. Sorry, I had to adjust there. He knows where Ando's bomb is, so Sakamoto will be able to take care of that. So now we get to see what happens now that Shin and Sakamoto have reunited. Chapter 201, or Days 201. Oh, we don't even start with a title card. We just start with Sakamoto staring down Ikari. And she's looking at him going, "How dare you embarrass me in front of Mr. Ando? You're kind of creepy." I feel like my webcam is moving too much. Hold on. I think I hear family just pull up with food. This will actually be perfect if it is them pulling up with food that I can grab right now. Hold on, let me go downstairs and check. I'll be a second. It was not food. Let's keep going. But we have Sakamoto and Ikari. "How dare you embarrass me in front of Mr. Ando? You're kinda creepy." And Shin is just thinking back to when his father was basically about to shoot him. "But now I can purge that regret." And someone starts to pick up a gun, and it's Shin who's pointing a gun at Ando. Days 201. What took you? And this surprises Ando. As Shin is holding the very same gun to him. "Hey, what are you doing? Assassin, control that friggin' punk!" "Easy now. If you kill him now, the bomb on the ship will go off." "This bastard was gonna kill me. I was an idiot to expect a scumbag like him to be capable of love." "You think you can pull the trigger? I thought you came here to find your dad." "You're about to kill your own kid, so drop dead!" "And take down all these passengers too? What would Asakura think of that?" "You're true garbage, you know that? Leave that geezer out of it!" And Shin starts squeezing the trigger, and Ikari screams, "Stop!" And because of that, Shin jolts and winds up shooting Ando in the shoulder. Shin still winds up shooting him, and Ando falls to the ground. And that's when Shin notices, "Hey,
I didn't mean. I just wanted him to apologize.
Mr. Ando! And Ikari is screaming and yelling, and you see tears come out from underneath her shades because we don't see her eyes.
I'll kill you!
As Ikari starts making her way towards Shin to kill him, Sakamoto notices. But then we get Ando's inner thoughts.
After I spent all those years making the arrangements to escape the JAA, this stupid brat I saved 13 years ago shows up with some hitman and screws the whole thing up. I should have let that punk die.
Oh, this is your father, Shin. Now we know, and the thing is, Shin is fully capable of hearing his thoughts. So I'm pretty sure he's hearing his own father say all of this.
I should have let that punk die.
And when Ikari bears down on Shin, she swings her anchor and winds up hitting Ando, who willingly takes the hit. Okay, sorry. Family did surprise me with food. Okay. But Ikari tries to kill Shin, and all of a sudden, Ando jumps in and takes the hit from Ikari instead. Despite saying all this in his mind, he still jumps in to save his son from his own bodyguard. And this surprises Shin. And then we see Ando, who's looking confused after getting hit, and he goes,
What am I doing?
And then Ikari is looking very confused because she just hit the very person that she adores. And as she goes,
huh? Why?
And as she's saying this, Sakamoto comes in and basically just body slams her all of a sudden, hard enough for blood to shoot out of her mouth in an instant. And she just goes, Bleh! But not that comical. It's all like, Bleh! But Sakamoto is looking, and he's seeing Shin staring at his father.
What the? Why'd you save me?
Who knows? I must be soft in the head. See? Good thing I let you escape. You can't shoot for spit. You'd never cut it as a hitman.
And while Ando is wobbling and huffing and puffing, he puts his hand on his son's shoulder.
You sure got big.
And wow, he actually did. Okay. I was about to say he actually did kill Ando, but no, it was while Shin may have shot Ando, it was Ikari that pretty much delivered the final blow. And because Ando just falls to the ground in front of his son, Wow, this reminds me of Itachi saying, "Sorry, Sasuke, there won't be a next time," and he just dies in front of Sasuke at the end of their fight. But Ando's just laying here as a pool of blood starts to build up underneath him. And Shin, just standing there, goes,
Son of a... Why? Why couldn't you say it out loud?
because he read his father's mind saying, "You sure got big," those final thoughts of his father. And he's just kneeling on the ground, and he's crying.
Now it's too late. Stupid old jerk.
And while he's crying, Sakamoto is just standing there. Sakamoto is just standing there and he's looking. And then he goes, "He's still alive. Apply pressure to the wound. Keep him conscious.
Where are you going?
I got something else to do." And as he says this, he goes, "I gotta disarm that bomb while this guy's still alive. Otherwise, this thing'll sink, passengers and all."
The bomb. It's in the engine bay. I'll go if...
No. You stay here. This is the last moment you'll have with your dad. And then this gets Shin's attention. He goes,
He's gonna look for the bomb alone? That's nuts. The engine bay is huge.
But then Ando, still conscious enough, reaches out and grabs onto Shin.
I'll tell you right where it is. You go with him. I'll hang in there till you get back.
And then Shin is just like,
Go.
And Shin, with tears in his eyes, he just closes them and opens them and goes,
Yeah, okay.
"To be continued." That's the end of the chapter. Wow. This was a very good chapter. Also, what's up to you, Ashi? Good to see you. Or is it Ashi? I want to say Ashi. Ashi is better. Not ashy, like ashy elbows and ashy knees and ashy ankles when you get out of the shower, but ashi. That has a lot better gravitas to it, But this was actually a very good chapter, because we got to see that Ando isn't completely heartless. Him saying that my son escaping from Alkamar back then was one of the biggest regrets of my life, and now I get to erase that regret. Yet, when Shin shoots him, despite not wanting to, because Shin didn't even want to shoot him. It was because Ikari surprised him, and he already had his finger on the trigger. That sudden jolt, that sudden shock caused him to pull the trigger and shoot Ando. Now, mind you, the bullet wound itself was not life-threatening, but it was when Ikari went to go kill Shin that Ando showed that he wasn't completely soulless, and he actually had that parental instincts to protect his child. Jumps in the way of Ikari and her massive anchor weapon and pretty much takes this hit that is pretty much a fatal blow. He's slowly bleeding out. He's bleeding out and he's slowly dying. And despite Sakamoto saying, "Yeah, I'm going to search the engine bay in order to find this bomb," Ando still holds on. Not before saying that "you sure got big," showing some actual genuine concern for his son. Despite vocally saying otherwise, and in some moments thinking otherwise, he still shows, genuine parental care for his own son. Where he was willing to, despite being shot, he was willing to jump in the way of his own bodyguard to protect him. So it shows you that he's not completely gone. And mind you, he's thinking, "You sure got big." Saying these thoughts as he slowly collapses as he's starting to succumb to his wounds. So while Sakamoto is looking for this bomb in the engine bay, Shin wants to go with him, but Sakamoto says, "No, these are the last moments you'll have with your father. You might want to spend it with him. I'll figure it out while I'm there." And then Ando says, "Don't worry, I'll tell you where it is, and I'll hold on until you find it." So this is a person who went from being the head of Alkamar, having a kid, and having that kid live in Alkamar, an orphanage where kids were dying left and right, allows his own son to escape because apparently that's not the proper environment a parent wants to raise their children in. And now the JAA wants nothing to do with him and has even sent Sakamoto to pretty much kill him because a person who's on the inside of the JAA is a liability if they ever leave. So this person, Ando, now, after saying that my son is my biggest regret, and now I have a chance to erase him, after trying to kill him not once, but twice, in the moment where his son's life was truly in danger outside of his own motives, he jumps in to save his own son. He basically had a Midoriya moment where his body moved without him thinking. Because he literally is looking confused when he jumped in between Ikari and goes like, what am I doing? His body moved on its own. That parental instinct kicked in far faster than his own assassin instincts. So now he says, you sure got big. And Shin is all like, why couldn't you say that out loud? Despite the fact that, Ando is still conscious. Shin is having is like this. And the thing is, why couldn't you say it out loud? It hurt. I know. It's one of those moments where someone that says, oh, I don't want nothing to do with you, but you read their mind and their whole thoughts and emotions read completely different, where this parent says like, oh, I actually do adore you as my son. I'm happy to have you as my son. Paraphrasing, I'm just putting in these different types of thoughts that you would witness. Now we have Ando saying, you sure got big, and he's actually he's sure proud of his son. But, saying this inside of your mind does not hit the same as saying it out of your own mouth. It feels different when someone says something to you. Like in my mind, I could say, my viewers have got to be the most amazing viewers I have ever known. And I'm just saying this in my mind, but it's completely different when I say those who watch me are just utterly amazing people. Every person that watches me is. It hits different when you see that person say these words directly to you. Yes, you're amazing. It's different when you say you're amazing inside of your head. That person doesn't know it. They have no idea how much that person values them. But when you look at a person and goes, you're amazing. I value your existence. I'm so happy you're here. It hits different. It has that extra genuineness that you see coming out of their mouth. So now we have a moment where Shin actually has a father who's willing to, cooperate. Willing to be a father for a change. And all it took was Shin's life being in danger outside of Ando's own orders. See, he had no problem with Shin being thrown off of the ship. He had no problem getting a gun and looking like he was going to kill his own son. But when it looked like someone was about to move on his son without his knowledge and without his say-so or anything of that nature, he said, no, you cannot take my son. And just jumps in. That's something that assassin schools and assassin training programs really can't eliminate all the way at the end of the day. There's just something about the love of a parent that will override any selfish feelings, especially when it's genuine love for a parent. There's just something about it that will just completely override any other feelings you have. And when it comes to a parent's children, they will do whatever it takes to protect them, even at the expense of their own well-being. Even someone who's been in the world of the JAA for as long as Ando has, seeing so much twisted and messed up stuff in his life, being the head of one of the most brutal locations in the entire Sakamoto Days story, Alkamar, and yet he still has after all these years of being immersed in this world, his body will not allow him to be cold towards his son when his son is in danger. And I mean specifically when his life is in danger from someone outside of him. So I like how this was done. But now we get to understand Shin just a little bit more. Now, since we're starting to approach the end of the flashback, I feel once all is said and done on the cruise ship, Sakamoto and Shin get back to Japan, I feel like we'll have the final words of what Shin and Sakamoto will say to each other during this flashback. And then we'll get back to the present to see where Shin, Sakamoto, and Tenkyu stand in the present. Because Tenkyu is, he's hemorrhaging. He has some life-threatening injuries due to Shin basically just speed blitzing him. So we'll have to see where Shin winds up, where he is mentally, despite everything that's happened to him. We'll have to see where Sakamoto and Shin end up. Now, I feel like Shin, he's probably people, and I need to stress this. Shin and Sakamoto are not the types to kill people anymore. So Sakamoto's doing his best to save Tenkyu, and I feel like this whole flashback and whatever Sakamoto in the present says to Shin is probably going to propel Shin to continue down this no killing anybody rule that he has stuck to. Because even Sakamoto can tell that Shin is not the type of individual to just kill in cold blood. He isn't. Not anymore, at least. He's never been that type of... he's never been that type of person. Because Sakamoto, before we even went to this flashback, Sakamoto says, I know the kind of person that you are. And now we're seeing that even in the midst of Shin getting a gun where he could shoot his father out of retaliation of his father saying that I wanted to kill you and tried to kill him, all of that, he still couldn't bring himself to do it. He's not cold-blooded like that. He still has a soul. So it's going to be nice to see how Shin and Sakamoto reconcile and, patch things up, because, Shin went off the deep end when as soon as he said, like, I'm going to kill Tenkyu because of what he said to Aoi and Hana. And it's understandable, mind you. It's understandable. But this is where Shin is going to probably reinforce his ideals of following after Sakamoto due to how hard Sakamoto fought for him both in the present day and even all the way back then. Mind you, Sakamoto doesn't truly know what it's like to have a family like this, or have a parent like this, because both of his parents died, so he doesn't truly know what this feels like at that time. Yet he's well aware enough to know that this is something that means a lot to Shin, so let's not spoil it. He could be the cold, deadpan assassin who's just here to take out Ando, but he's learned while he's been with Shin, this whole flashback, that, this means a lot to him. So, I'm gonna search for the bomb. You stay here with your dad. He has no obligation to feel any sort of way about Shin and his father. But after being with Shin and seeing just how adamant Shin has been with, this confrontation and getting to know his father and find out all this stuff, Sakamoto has been nothing but receptive, even though he wasn't that way at the beginning. He was just standoffish, said very few words, and really didn't care how Shin felt any way or the other. He was just here to do a job. Now he's starting to see just how important these things can be outside of, being an assassin. And I believe this is what kind of helped him become the person that he is. And not only that, but him and eventually meeting Aoi is when he's like, you know what? I'm going to leave the assassin life behind. But it's nice to see that Sakamoto wasn't completely devoid of, being basically emotionally detached from people. Yo! Destruct, hi, is this the series with the guy with a big chin and glasses and a Charlie Chaplin-style mustache? How is it? I'm thinking of starting something new. Yes, Destruct, and you'll be happy to know that I have an entire playlist where I have read through every single chapter of Sakamoto Days, so if you want to catch up, I literally have a whole playlist of all 201 chapters, including today's chapters 201, for you to basically just binge watch all the way through, so that way you can fully catch up with Sakamoto Days. Either, listen to me react to it, or find it on the internet and just have me playing in the background, because, I work best as a read-along. But yes, it is very good. Sakamoto Days is very good, and I'm happy that I made it one of my regular manga series that I'm reacting to on Sundays. It's very good. Highly suggested. I really do. But overall, I thought this was a very good chapter in terms of, Sakamoto's perspective and Shin's perspective, and also the surprise of Ando risking his own life to protect his son. I did not see that coming. I thought he was just going to die and that would be it, and Sakamoto would have to speed and find the bomb before it went off. But no, we see another side of Ando, and that just makes his character better than I thought he was. I was about to say he's the worst parent ever, but he kind of went out of his way to save his son, so this is serious. Also, Destructs, you are literally at chapter 201, and I feel like the stuff I'm talking about is some heavy spoiler stuff, so by all means, leave so that way you can watch my entire playlist, so that way you can fully catch up and understand where we're all at for this story, because I would hate to really just spoil stuff for you, and you've really never even gotten into the series. But overall, this was a very good chapter, and I can't wait to see if the next chapter we get speed runs through the rest of this flashback, or if we have one more chapter just completely dedicated to a flashback, and then the chapter after that will bring us back to the present day. Or maybe get us at the final moment of the flashback, and then the chapter after that will be when we get to the present day. I don't know, but we'll have to wait until then, because it doesn't appear that we're going on break. Overall, I enjoyed this chapter, especially this moment between Shin and Ando. Very much liked it. I'll check it out after I'm done with what I'm reading now. By all means, take your time. Don't rush on my account. Just know that my playlist for you to be able to listen to this entire story, it's there for you whenever you're ready. Whenever you are ready. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed today's chapter, and I'm looking forward to the next one. But now, it's time for me to eat and then get back on Woowa, because I intend to pull for Phoebe the next time we stream, not Sakamoto Days, next time we stream Wuthering Waves. But everyone, you've been a wonderful audience. Thank you for your patience, because I know I had to extend this like a 30 extra minutes from my usual time because I had other stuff to do. Thank you for your understanding. All I can say to everyone here, both veterans to this channel and newcomers as well, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.